Hello everybody, my name is Uri and welcome to another episode of Tiny Bunny. This is episode 3, if I remember correctly. I did not upload for a long time because I had some things on my head and a lot of stuff going on in my life. So, yeah, but it's all fine, it's all good. Now, we're gonna continue this playthrough. I remember him always wearing a sad smile while mentioning the black car. That's not children. He would say, quote, open quote, it looks like a funeral car on the inside, with curtains and all, and it has DSC in its license plate. Do you know what it means? Death to Soviet children. Funny, I was born in the USSR too. Let's go and enter this building. School of some sort. I could hear muffled voices behind the doors, saw blinking lamps. Darkness crept along the windows, and it felt like the school was drifting in open space, like a lonely lost spaceship. After going up to the second floor, I noticed the crowd around the notice board. Attention! Child missing. Vova Matyurkin, 10 years old. And all of this stuff. You can read it too, you know. If you want, you can read the small stuff. I read it for myself. It's really long and I don't care for it that much. So, let's continue. Okay. Everyone was taking part in a lively discussion. I moved closer and took a look at something everyone was interested in through a wall of backpacks. There was a piece of paper with something printed on it, glued to the left on the notice board. Read. Oh, now we have to read it. Okay. Child missing, Vova, 10-year-old. Vova, 10-year-old, grade 4. He left his home on January the shut the fuck up. On January the 5th, around 4, and never returned. Was last seen at a bridge over the Smoridona River. He was wearing an orange coat with a hood, a black wool cap, a scarf, and mittens with green stripes, the one we found with blood. Might have had a plastic toy gun on him. Features. Not that good. Vova that was his name. Sorry, I don't know how to say this name. Vova Matyokin. Vova Matyokin, I think. A 4th grader. On that grainy paint, Vova looked dead, with black mouth and dark, empty eye sockets. Well, it's only black and white. You can't really say that. Could it be that the darkness dwelling deep in the forest invaded this person? Mutilated his face? No, it's a black and white photo. It's not supposed to be alive or something like it. It's not supposed to be alive. If you want the picture to be alive, put some color on it. It will be just fine. Okay. A plastic toy gun couldn't protect him from the whispering branches and the howling wind. Of course it couldn't. What? I'm just standing there and just pew pew and with toy gun, what is it gonna do? Nothing. Even 2 dogs, it wouldn't scare them. Empty eyes of the lost boy pierced through my soul, as if pleading. Unable to meet his stare, I turned around and rushed out the window, took a seat on the windowsill. The corridor was slowly filling up with children, in groups of few. Nobody paid me any mind, like they're supposed to. In the darkness of school toilets, child voices were hammering a nursery
Для
rhyme.
медведя, для лисы, зайчик кушать принеси.
For the fox and for the bird, bunny tasty meals prepare. This way. I turned my head toward them, trying to get a better look at their features. But then my attention was stolen by a loud clicking sound. A female teacher marched down the corridor with her chin raised up high, like she's higher than me in the system. Her heels were hitting the floor like miniature hoofs. A girl was trailing her every step. She was also looking pompous, stopping along the way and whispering some secret in a friend's ear. She was probably a class rep, since she was carrying an attendance register book.
Екатерина, возьми, пожалуйста.
Ekaterina, take this please. The teacher opened her classroom, and a crowd of children swarmed in, screaming and pushing, like they're eager to get into business in the class. But we weren't like that. No, we wouldn't go to class at all. Just kidding. Okay. Whoa, you have a lot of things. Out of all of them, a tall, redhead, fat boy, like Ethan back then in the Sidemen. Sorry, Ethan, but kinda true. Caught my attention. His face was full of blisters. He looked like the insides of a pomegranate. Nice. A bad feeling risen up the hair on the back of my head. I've seen boys like him before. Unsettled eyes, cackling laughter. The girl who was a smaller copy of the teacher warned the boy with a wave of her hand and entered the room to the clearing in the crowd. Some other guy stood in the way of the crowd and the redhead and immediately shoved him.
Топай резче, мудила!
Move your legs, moron! The boy flew headfirst, failing in his hands, trying to keep his balance. The fatso burst out laughing and a couple of kids joined his nasty cackling. The laughter sounded like someone was snipping with youth garden scissors. The classroom sucked all of the kids in, the corridor stood empty. I wanted to grow roots and stay on the windowsill. And I see trails. Just a handful of lamp posts outside were battling in the darkness, riding like a fluorescent fish in the black ocean. Maybe I can still run away. Go outside, dissolve in the dark. I imagine myself running through the snow, how it squeaks under my boots, and how I'm becoming lighter and lighter with every step. And that's the ring. The ringer's trail blew that illusion away. I tore myself from the window with great effort. Then took a couple of deep breaths, trying to at least calm down my mad pulse, and entered the classroom. Finally, you enter the class like a real student should. But you missed the class because you didn't enter the first one, or that you had a window of time. I don't know. I wouldn't get into it, 204, is that it? Nice classroom. Sorry. The prim teacher looked at me over the frame of her glasses, clearly annoyed.
Я новенький.
I'm the transfer student.
Мне вот сказали к вам подойти.
I was told to come here. The snowy forest trail was winding in front of my eyes. The pines rustled, but it didn't sound predatory anymore. The teacher. She buried herself in the register and flicked through the pages.
А фамилия-то как?
Your last name?
Петров.
Petrov?
Громче говори.
Huh? Why are you mumbling there?
Чего мямлишь?
Say it clearly.
Петров.
Petrov.
Нет такого.
You're not on the list. She measured me with a long, heavy stare, as if trying to see if I was lying. I wanted to sink through the floor. Hazy faces observed all of that from the left. The classroom breathed and snorted in unison. Unison? I don't know how to say it. Like a living organism. Like a dangerous beast.
Ты не ошибся?
Are you sure?
Нет такого в списке.
I don't have you in my register. My knees chose the worst time to start shaking. And I felt dizzy. I clutched my fist so hard my knuckles became white.
Мне сказали, 204 кабинет, Лилия Павловна, 6 В.
They told me to come to the classroom 204 to ask for Lilia Pavlovna, class 6C. Apparently, everyone in the classroom took my words from some sort of joke, because they were all laughing. But wasn't it you, Anton? Not the whole world is talking about you. Not even one. You're just a little kid and you think it's all about you? Like, who are you?
Что за бардак?
What's wrong with the school? The classroom fell silent. The kids heard the smirks for a better occasion.
Понаберут студентов.
Why do we hire so many interns?
Только знают, что губяки свои малевать. А я разгребай, значит.
They all know how to put lipstick all over the bulging lips. But when it comes to real problems, I have to solve everything.
А бумаги-то кто заполнять будет? Не первый раз ведь уже.
How do they send you here without any proper paperwork? Huh? We've had the same thing happen to us many times already.
Подожди здесь. Сейчас.
We're here. I'll be back.
Сейчас я им устрою.
After, I have a little chat with him. The teacher flew past me, mumbling something to herself in righteous anger, and I was left standing at the center of the classroom. Like a convict in front of a firing squad, I lowered my gaze, feeling the mocking stares from all around the classroom directed at me. They prickled my skin, danced on it like laser sights. Ooh, shit! Once again, I imagined running away, far away from this place, fighting the clawing wind, soaring high above the pines in one long jump, with the wind in my back as my only companion. The eyes of my future classmates were asking, "The new boy? Is he one of us? Or an outsider?" Somebody whispered something, and stifled laughter rolled through the classroom.
Доску вытри!
Wipe the board! It was easy to guess who was the main prankster here.
Эй, очкарик!
Hey, Four Eyes!
Ты чё, не только слепой, но еще и глухой?
Are you not only blind but also deaf?
Доску вытри, говорю!
I said wipe the board! My knees weren't the only shaking part of my body anymore. I was trembling from head to toe, and I prayed for the teacher to come back sooner. My prayers were already answered by the powers that be.
Ну что мне с тобой делать-то?
And what should I do with it now?
Куда сажать, а?
Where will you sit?
Давай-ка сядь, наверное, с Семеном.
Oh well, you can sit with Simeon, I guess.
Он все равно один.
He'll be alone anyway.
Еще чего?
No way! The fatso put his backpack on the seat beside him in defiance, scratched his belly and smirked.
Ты опять за старое?
Are you back to your old tricks?
Снова бабушку в школу вызывать?
Should I call your grandma here again? The classroom went silent.
А чё она мне сделает?
And what's she gonna do?
Не она, так я тебе сделаю.
I'll be the one to do something if she doesn't.
Рюкзак убрал быстро.
Put away your backpack now! Simeon didn't move a muscle. He started studying the portraits of writers on the wall, looking bored. I needed to do something, to resolve this somehow, to save myself. I cleared my throat and continued in a stifled voice. that sounded nothing like me.
Я могу за последнюю парту сесть.
I can sit in the last row.
Там, кажется, свободно.
I think there is a free seat. The teacher snorted loudly. She looked at me, then at Samuel, then back at me.
Ладно, садись пока туда.
Fine, go there for now.
А с тобой, Бабурин, мы еще поговорим.
And you, Baborin, I'll have to talk to you later.
Чтобы подошел
Later.
после уроков.
Later. Come to me after class.
Будешь по классу дежурить, ясно?
You'll run clean and duty, got it? Semyon forced out a twisted smile. Juicy pimples were growing on the tip of his nose right from talking. I walked carefully, afraid to stumble and fall, causing another outburst of laughter from everyone. I took my seat at the back, at the last table, where I was met with a pile of old posters. The outcast to the seats and the class was ready to
Вот и
start.
хорошо. Начнем урок.
Now this is settled, let's start the class.
Тема. Традиции русской и мировой литературы в рассказе Зощенко «Не надо врать».
Today's theme into traditions of Russians in international literature in Zonchenko's Don't Lie. The fatso turned back to me. Esther informed me of the coming days, weeks, and months, and probably years, let's be honest, of bullying. I've got my eyes on you, said his whale look. Yeah. After just a couple of periods, I had already noticed a huge yellow spade stand in my notebook. Then, at the cafeteria, this Semyon accidentally spilled a glass of compote on me. And then, he flailed his hands around after exiting the toilet, so some liquid from his hands would get on me. Just before the final period for today, Simon pushed me into a buzzing crowd of girls from our class. Ooh wee, that's not nice. They made way, cursing, but I couldn't hold my balance and ended ramming my face into the girl I took for the class rep before, right in her boobies. I immediately stepped back, dying from embarrassment.
Прости, ты в порядке?
I'm sorry, are you alright?
Я...
Then she suddenly put her hands on her hips.
Нет, ну вы посмотрите на него.
Will you look at him?
Облапал меня прямо у всех на глазах.
Whopping me in front of everyone.
Я сейчас все
I'll
маме
tell my
расскажу.
mom.
Тебя из школы выгонят,
They'll
извращенец.
expel you, pervert. There was some sort of sadistic pleasure in her eyes. She's scary, what the fuck? I just look at her face, what the fuck? As if she was a child who was about to lead up the match before to the chef or
Я
beagle.
нечаянно. Меня толкнули.
I didn't mean to, trust me, he pushed me.
Все видели. Слепых среди нас нет.
We all saw it, you know. No blind among us. She stared at my glasses, while showing me a creepy smile. She's bad though. She is bad. I started to fume on the inside, but Samuel laughter cooled my head.
Толкнули? Чё, правда?
I pushed you sure? He swagged up to me, enveloping me in the smell of sunflowers, seeds, and rotting teeth, and then pushed me to the ground.
Вот так, да? И чё ты сделаешь?
Like this, huh? What you gonna do now? The bully towered over me as if saying, come on, hit me. Let me see you try. Fight back or endure. I wanna be the baddest, but I don't wanna mess with him. It seems like no one has fought him before, so if I will fight him, he might respect me for this. Let's fight back. No one has fought against you, and I'll be the winner. Boom!
Слушай, ты...
Listen, you. My throat went dry, my lips were moving on their own, and my voice was akin to stifled squeal. Someone wore a mocking
Давай,
smile.
давай, продолжай.
Go on,
очкарик.
Far Eyes.
Чё примолк-то?
Why did you stop?
Нам всем
We're
очень
all
интересно.
waiting.
Если еще хоть раз меня тронешь.
If you ever touch me again. Samuel slowly stuck out a finger and poked in my forehead.
Натронул и чё?
I did so once.
Еще хоть раз
If you ever do it again.
тронул.
Here.
А вот
Once more.
еще.
Oh, I will.
Еще.
And again. And
еще.
again. He was poking me with his finger so hard my head tilted backward. I must not cry. Or I'll be done for.
Чё ты мне сделаешь, мямля?
What will a wimp like you do to me? Please, fight him! I told you to fight him! Why won't you attack him? My vision went blurry, exactly. My thoughts tore off from the floor. I rushed forward and threw a random punch without looking. Nice one! What I saw when I opened my eyes was beautiful and horrifying at the same time. Samuel was holding it here, blinking and blinking in amazement. No pain, yeah. Was I the first person to rebel against his absolute will? Yeah, that's what I was saying. It seems like no one has done anything to him. No one fought back. That's why he respects me. He respects me now.
Стопэ!
I needed to run, but I was already surrounded by his corner.
Лилия Павловна!
Лилия Павловна!
Лилия Павловна! Петров Бабурина ударил!
Лилия Павловна! Petrov just hit Baburin! Simon's cheeks grew even redder, and his pimples even wider, like the hairs of larvae. But a smile flashed on his face. This was only noticed along his comrades. He got really close to me. The smell of rotten teeth washed over me.
Тебе
Yeah,
пиздец.
you're fucking done, pizdias, yeah. His voice was evil and dangerous, like someone tore off the lid from a kettle with boiling fat. I was waiting to get hit, counting the thumpes of my heart and guessing where his fist will go. He will not hit me. He is too coward. He's a coward. The solar plexus, the jaws, the nose, but he just turned around and walked off. I knew it. He's too scared to fight me back because of the teacher, and I'm not scared. A thought, cold and sober and extremely rational, popped in my head. I'm going to get killed today. But you're not, is the problem. You are not. I was glad to leave the school after classes on purpose. Samuel didn't attend the last period, so I was hopeful. What if he decided to dodge the cleaning duty and went home, forgetting all about me? I heaved a sigh of relief, like someone on death row whose execution was delayed by a day. But I didn't let myself forget his tone, his vengeful vague gaze, and his scary, electrified smirk. While the other students were leaving the school laughing loudly, I was pretending to skim through the books near a window. I was staying outside nervous. Someone was nowhere to be found in the front yard or even the school gate. I didn't really believe I was this lucky. So I decided to be extra cautious and stayed for some more time in the corridor that was gradually getting less crowded. All of the bustle moved to the first floor. There was a skeleton peeking out of the biology classroom. Some jokester put a cap with an American condor on his head. The sound of running water were coming from the bathroom. I was the only person left in the whole school. Not a good idea. I'm not alone. A sudden thought came to my mind. I remember the missing boy. His portrait was on a notice board, but I don't know how to talk near the schedule. Oh, he looks somewhat more alive now. I remember his smile. What the fuck? Him looking at me. He weren't smiling in this. He weren't smiling, and the fact that he's most likely already dead. Hello. I shuddered and turned around. Who are you? And my first thought stumbled upon a violin case. Then I noticed a girl from my class was holding it. Whoosh, he is bad. She sat in the first row of the second column. I swear, I caught her looking at me a couple of times. Oh, nice. And I was sneaking glances at her myself. Something just feels nice to look at something pretty. The spring, the sky, or a girl that's not in the crowd that laughed Sammy's jokes. And she wasn't whispering the dirty laundry of other people to catch her. She spent all of the breaks like me, staying in a classroom or looking at a window or doing something in a green notebook.
Здравствуй.
Hello. I turned red and pretended I was studying the pattern on the wooden floor.
Круто ты ему врезал.
It was cool, the way you hit him.
Это вышло случайно. Почти.
It was just an accident. Well, almost. I started shoving books in my backpack to at least put something in my hand.
Вроде Семен раньше таким не был.
Simeon wasn't like that before, you know.
Он к нам недавно перевелся.
He also transferred it just recently.
Бабушка мне его по секрету сказала, что он словно взбесился.
His grandma told me that it almost felt like he went mad.
Семена даже старшеклассники побаиваются. Представляешь?
Even the upperclassmen fear Simeon, did you know?
А ты вот молодец.
But you're different.
Не
Oh, she's a
стройся.
cutie. You're brave.
Угу.
I mumbled in reply. That was me, like in high school. I just didn't know how to talk, you know. Yeah, right, me, brave. A hero that has been standing around in the hallway to avoid beating. The girl looked at me with her clear, attentive eyes.
А ты за рекой живешь?
Do you live over the river?
В том деревянном
In
доме?
that wooden house?
Ну да.
Yeah.
Там, наверное, страшно.
Must be scary living there.
Да еще через лес идти.
And you also have to cross the forest.
Я бы так не смогла.
I wouldn't be able to do that. I shivered at the mention of the forest. I thought of intertwining bunches of a snake-like trail, of endless darkness that spread like mold along the crooked twists. So I straight up lied.
Да не так уж там и страшно.
It's not that scary, you know.
А что тебя так пугает?
What's so scary about it for you? She smiled after a brief pause, as if brushing off a daydream.
Да так. Ничего.
Well, actually, never mind.
Меня, кстати, Полина зовут.
My name is Paulina, by the way.
А меня Антон.
And I'm Anton.
Ну, это я знаю.
I already know that. Okay, this is nice.
Слушай,
Hey,
Антон,
say Anton. She stumbled as if trying to decide whether she would
а
continue.
что ты делаешь после школы?
What are you doing after school? My chest felt prickly after her innocent question, yet somehow it felt pleasant.
Ничего такого.
Nothing much. I stumbled and didn't finish my sentence. The fuck? Alisa's predatory smile flashed before my eyes. Her playful eyes in the slits of the mask were probably just the product of my imagination though. What if the fox girl is waiting for me after school? Or was it another of her weak jokes? I wonder if she's hiding a big red trail under her coat. I suddenly got covered with beads of sweat, like after PE class. I wanted to take a shower, as if just seeing the foxy girl made me dirty. I saw in my clothes lured me into the forced embrace.
У меня сейчас занятие, скрипка, а потом я свободна.
Aye, a violin lesson and then I'll be free for you.
Дедушка мне репетитора нанял.
My grandpa hired me a private tutor.
Наш учитель музыки, он же скрипач. А здесь, в поселке, ему некому преподавать.
Our music
Только мне.
music teacher is a violinist, and he doesn't have anyone to teach here except for me. She waved her free hand in the air, imitating the movement of a bow on a violin strings. I could almost hear the music. It chased Alisa out of my head. I looked at Paulina's eyes, catching every word, and was frozen for breath from their unusual sensations. They were warm, soothing, and tingly. It felt like I was very small, and all the feelings were immense, and they couldn't fit inside me.
Тут говорят, что у нас в поселке маньяк завелся.
They say there's a serial killer on the loose in the village.
Раньше со школы меня всегда дедушка забирал, но в последнее время ему не здоровится.
Normally, Grandpa will escort me home from school, but he's been sick lately. I snuck a glance at Fova's photo. His eyebrows were stunning me. His lips were wearing a black lipstick, just like the portrait on a gravestone.
Ты не подумай, я не трусишка,
I
просто...
mean, I'm not a coward. It's just
Просто мне кажется, что с тобой будет безопаснее.
I think I'll be safer together with you.
Антон, ты сможешь
Wow,
проводить
this
меня
is
до
that
дома?
question you gotta say yes to it, Tantan. She, you know what she wants from you, and the answer is to escort her home. I don't know how to talk English. Will you go home with me, Anton? There it was. Finally, everything that I read about in adventure books, everything that I dreamed about was happening in my life. A mysterious crime, a beautiful stranger, and a heroic duel. A duel. Thinking of Samion instantly sobered me up, returned me back to earth, and started shaking under my feet like a deck of ship. If only I could rise to the occasion in front of Paulina, because no matter how brave I was trying to act, it was obvious for both of us that I wouldn't be able to stand a chance against a big fat guy like he is. And him knocking me out won't even be the worst of it. The worst part is that Paulina will see all of that, and she loves me like everybody else. No, she won't, because she's a different girl, and you can see it. No, I don't need anybody to see me in such a shameful state.
Сегодня вряд ли получится.
I doubt I'll be able to stay today.
Ты же знаешь, Семен, скорее всего, караулит на
You
школьном
know,
дворе.
Simon is waiting for me outside.
Лучше мне с ним разобраться лично, по-мужски.
I need to deal with him one-on-one like a man. No, you don't.
Глупости какие.
Nonsense. Paulina brushed off some hair off her forehead, and I sensed a weak aroma of blackberry. Paulina was like water. When you were thirsty, you gulped it down, and you still wanted more. I remember the summer evenings at a country house, the fire pageant, smoke, the berries hanging over a fence of our neighbors, and a soft cover of pine needles under my soles. Those were peaceful days when I felt completely safe. My mom resting in my hammock, my dad putting meat on a skewer. Could I have foreseen the upcoming catastrophe in the crackle of the coals, in our parents' laughs, in the smell of the fleeting July? Could I have seen how fragile that world was?
Думаешь, этот дикарь будет честно драться?
Do you really think that savage will give you a fair fight?
Со своими дружками набросятся всем скопом, опомниться даже не дадут.
He'll just swarm you with his friend without giving you a chance to catch your breath. Paulina suddenly flashed a devious smile.
Но если мы пойдем вместе, это их
But
ошарашит.
if we go together, they will be put off.
Я же не только первая скрипка на деревне. Я ведь еще и девочка.
I'm not only the first violin of this village, I'm also a girl.
Слышала от знакомого хулигана, что он никогда не нападает на кого-то в присутствии девушки.
I've heard a delinquent, okay? I know they'll never attack someone where's there's a girl around.
Представляешь, у них кодекс чести такой.
Can you imagine? They have this weird code of honor. I think, I thought worried. Is he better than me? Taller, or more handsome?
Ой, мне на музыку пора.
Oh, I have to go to music class. She made a couple of steps and stopped. Amazing. Paulina didn't look like these beauties from the magazine posters of access for movies. But in the freaking light of ceiling lamps, she looked much more alluring.
А ты играешь на чем-нибудь?
Can you play anything? My parents bought me a guitar a couple of years ago. I immediately remembered my meager attempts at making music. Change, where I'm waiting for change. So a song echoed my thoughts and my desire to change something. The guitar got lost somehow, as if it was using to move to the old house near Forest. I think my parents gave it away to someone that needed it
Увы,
more.
не играю.
I don't, sadly.
Жалко.
I pity.
Ну ладно, я
Oh well.
побежала.
I'll be going.
Пока!
Bye bye. She was cute. You should take her and not leave her. Her shoes also echo to the school
Пока!
always. Bye! I wasn't sure if Pauline heard me. I looked out the window again. The school was empty. Just a couple of grade schoolers throwing snowballs at each other. Nobody would look like Hulky. Semyon was with his squannies. They was giving me hope. What should I do? Paulina could become a friend, the first one in this little place. And besides, she may be a real danger of Minnie's killer, and I'll be the defender, her knight. And even though my inner voice was hesitant and whispered around running away from the killers, lurking in the woods at night, Paulina was worth the risk. But the red cunning fox were also intriguing. She promised me to help look for Bova, and this will bring me a reward. More money will almost guarantee peace in my family. Gifts for Olia. I imagine my sister happy like those girls who get prizes from Sopanov in their finest hour. She'll be dancing like with the famous singers, maybe new popular bands like Ivanishki International. Mom and Dad hugging in the Ostapur Pavilion, and then all of us going to Disneyland. Yeah, happy days, happy days. Oh, Paulina, Alisa, of course, Paulina, you can't lose her. Snow dancing there outside, following the rhythm of the music, the flowing from around the corner. I jumped out the window and started walking along the hallway, curiously eating away at me. The half hour I spent waiting while the snake pace. I want to see Paulina again. The music became louder. It streamed out of the half open door at the far end of the corridor. My music taste was limited to Letov, Surfchuk, the timeless classics, and pop songs I saw on TV, along with music videos that would sometimes be put on tapes and as teasers before a movie, but whose violin melody captivated me. It felt like Master Woodcutter walking with a delicate wood for a fragile crystal toy, a gasp of a warm wind. Sorry, I pressed my cheek against the doorway. Paulina was hiding from me in the far end of the classroom, but a shadow that felt, well, definitely belonged to the girl with the violin. The movements of her bow were so graceful that it felt like I was getting carried away on the waves of music. Oh, it's so nice. My heart broke the barrier of my ribcage and started popping around. Faster and faster he jumped in snow pies, gliding between the pines toward the fiery sun above the windfall.
Заскучал?
Got tired of waiting? I was so thought that I didn't hear pushing footsteps. Okay, now that she's here and we're here, this is time to end the episode here. This was a lovely episode, really. Nothing scary, but a huge development in the story of Anton. He probably met his girlfriend now, and she's very nice, of course, looking bad and all of that, but she has an awesome personality. And I chose a lot of things. I chose to punch the bully and not run away from him and do nothing like a coward. And I chose her over the fox because you should always choose love. And that's it, you know. Okay, all around, it's been a very interesting episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, like, subscribe, comment on the video, so you should tell me what I should do next, what games I should play. I'm already playing a lot of games. And yeah, it was a great episode. I hope you enjoyed. Until the next episode, bye bye.